You are about to uncover an ultra-rare secret, one that most men will never truly understand. By the time you finish reading this, you will know exactly how to talk to women, how to get inside their minds, and how to make them eagerly anticipate the next time they see you or hear from you. This knowledge will change the way you approach women forever. No more confusion, no more overthinking, no more feeling powerless when interacting with an attractive woman. Instead, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of what truly sparks attraction and how to harness it effortlessly. The first mistake most men make when talking to women. Picture this. You see a woman you find incredibly attractive. Your heart starts to race. Your mind scrambles to come up with the perfect thing to say. You start overanalyzing everything. What topic to bring up, how to make her laugh, how to impress her. And just like that, you've already made your first mistake. The moment you place too much importance on what you're going to say, you've lost. Why? Because attraction isn't about the exact words you use. It's about how you make her feel. And overthinking kills natural attraction. Instead of treating the conversation like a test you have to pass, you need to shift your mindset entirely. Change your perspective. Right now, from this moment forward, every time you talk to a beautiful woman, I want you to remember one simple truth. She is just a human being. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I know this might sound obvious or like something you've heard before, but internalizing this will completely change your interactions with women. Most men unconsciously put beautiful women on a pedestal. They treat them as if they're rare, untouchable, or somehow more valuable than themselves. The moment you do this, you've already lost. Why? Because women don't feel attraction from men who see themselves as less than. So, starting now, whenever you talk to a woman, remind yourself, she is just a human being. No more, no less. The power dynamic that changes everything. Now, here's the second mental shift you need to make. See yourself as being in a higher position than she is. I know what you're thinking. What do you mean, a higher position? Don't worry, I'll explain. This isn't about arrogance or disrespect. It's about understanding the way attraction works on a deep psychological level. When you talk to a woman, her subconscious mind is scanning you. It's assessing whether you are worthy of her attraction. And here's the key. Women are naturally drawn to men who appear to be above them in status, confidence, and self-worth. This doesn't mean you need to be rich, famous, or insanely good-looking. It means you need to act like someone who sees himself as valuable, someone who doesn't need her approval. The moment she senses that you view yourself as being on a higher level, her attraction radar will light up. How women's attraction radar works. To understand this at a deeper level, you need to know that women don't consciously choose who they are attracted to. Attraction is a subconscious reaction. It's automatic. This is why women often find themselves drawn to men who don't treat them well or who seem like bad boys. Their logical brain may say, I shouldn't be with this guy, but their attraction radar has already locked onto him, and they can't help how they feel. So what does this mean for you? It means that you can't convince a woman to like you through logic or reason. You have to trigger her subconscious attraction, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. The biological truth. Most men ignore. Here's something society won't tell you. Every woman, no matter who she is or what she does, has a primary biological drive to find the right man. This isn't about social norms or cultural expectations. It's about biology. A woman could be a scientist, a CEO, or an astronaut, but deep down her subconscious mind is always scanning for the right man. And here's the crazy part. She doesn't choose this man with her logical brain. Her subconscious radar chooses him for her. This radar is constantly assessing whether a man is better than her or worse than her. If her subconscious determines that a man is above her, she will feel attraction. If she feels that he is beneath her, she won't. It's that simple. How to make her radar lock onto you. So, how do you trigger this subconscious radar and make it lock onto you? The first key is in how you interact with her. One of the biggest mistakes most men make is acting as if the woman is superior to them. They do this in subtle ways, seeking her approval, trying too hard to impress her, putting too much weight on her responses. Women pick up on this instantly, and it turns them off. Why? Because the moment a man signals that he sees her as being above him, her subconscious categorizes him as unworthy of attraction. On the other hand, when a man interacts with her in a way that suggests he is above her, when he doesn't chase, doesn't overthink, and treats her as an equal or even slightly below him, her subconscious will automatically trigger attraction. Mastering body language for instant attraction. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful non-verbal ways to communicate this mindset: body language. Most advice you hear about body language is completely useless. You've probably heard things like, keep your head up, don't put your hands in your pockets, sit with a straight back. Forget all of that, it won't help you. Instead, here are 3 key body language principles that actually matter. Lean away, not toward most men. Lean in when talking to a woman. This signals desperation. Instead, make it a habit to slightly lean away, as if you are the one being pursued. Be willing to walk away. If she says something that signals disinterest, don't argue or try to convince her otherwise. Instead, confidently say something playful like, I know, I'm probably too much for you to handle. You're too much of a nice girl anyway. Then, start walking away. This will instantly increase her attraction because women are not used to men doing this. Sit comfortably, like you own the room. Imagine how you sit when you're completely relaxed with a friend. That's how you should sit around women. If you're too stiff, nervous, or overly aware of your posture, you're signaling insecurity. Instead, be comfortable in your own space. Women don't care about specific body movements, they care about the energy you project. And nothing is more attractive than a man who is genuinely comfortable in his own skin. The ultimate conversation formula that triggers attraction. Now that you understand the subconscious radar that governs attraction and how to position yourself as a high-value man through mindset and body language, it's time to master the most crucial element of all: conversation. Most men struggle with talking to women because they either try too hard to be impressive, overthink what to say, run out of things to talk about, bore her with logical, predictable conversations. The good news: you're about to learn a simple but powerful formula that eliminates all of these problems and makes your conversations flow effortlessly, while triggering her attraction on a deep, subconscious level. This formula is 50-30-20, the golden ratio of conversation that high-status men naturally use when talking to women. The 50-30-20 rule for magnetic conversations. The way you structure your conversations determines whether a woman feels an emotional pull toward you or sees you as just another forgettable guy. Here's how the formula works. 50% of the conversation should be about her. 30% should be about external topics, the environment, funny observations, random topics. 20% should be about you. Why does this work? Because in any conversation, the person who talks the most about themselves is the one who needs the other person's approval. Think about a job interview. The person being interviewed is the one talking about themselves, while the employer sits back and listens. Who holds the power in that interaction? The employer. Now think about how most men talk to women. They desperately try to prove themselves, talking about their job, their car, their achievements. And what does this signal? Low value. A high-value man doesn't need to prove anything. Instead, he makes her qualify herself to him. That's exactly what this formula does. Let's break it down step by step. Step 1. Make her talk about herself, 50%. Women are naturally drawn to men who make them feel emotionally engaged. The easiest way to do this: get her to talk about herself. Not in a boring, interview-style way, but in a way that makes her feel seen, understood, and emotionally invested. Here are the topics that women love to talk about: her childhood and upbringing. What kind of kid were you growing up? Her dreams and ambitions. If you could live anywhere and do anything, what would it be? Her likes and dislikes. What's one thing you absolutely can't stand? Her past experiences. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? The key is listening like a therapist. Instead of just nodding, actively engage. React to her answers, ask follow-up questions, challenge her in a playful way. Example: you. What's something you've always wanted to do but never have? Her. I've always wanted to go skydiving, but I'm scared of heights. You. Wait, hold on. You're telling me you'd rather stay on the ground and live a safe, boring life instead of jumping out of a plane like an action hero? I don't know if we can be friends anymore. See what happened? Instead of just passively agreeing, you challenged her in a playful way. This builds emotional tension, one of the core ingredients of attraction. Step 2. Keep the conversation dynamic. 30%. If you only ask her questions about herself, it can start to feel like an interrogation. That's where the 30% rule comes in. This part of the conversation should be about anything and everything except her or you. Why? Because it keeps things light, unpredictable, and fun. Great topics include funny observations. Why do girls take 10x longer to get ready than guys? Current events or pop culture. Have you seen that new show everyone's talking about? Random debates. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? The key is to be playful and spontaneous. Don't try to steer the conversation in a logical direction. Just say whatever comes to mind. Imagine you're sitting at a bar with your best friend, joking around, talking about nonsense. That's the energy you want to bring to this part of the conversation. When you can talk about nothing and still make it engaging, that's when women find you most attractive. Step 3. Talk about yourself the right way. 20%. Now comes the part that most guys get wrong. Talking about themselves. The biggest mistake, trying to impress her. If you spend this part bragging about your achievements, telling long-winded stories about how awesome you are, or listing off your accomplishments, you'll immediately lower your value in her eyes. Instead, the key is to be playful, self-deprecating, and mysterious. Here's how to do it. Make fun of yourself. Women love a man who doesn't take himself too seriously. Example, I tried cooking dinner once. Let's just say the fire department had to get involved. Be mysterious. Don't reveal too much too soon, keep her guessing. Example, her, where do you work? You, I could tell you, but then I'd have to erase your memory. Top secret stuff. Leave her wanting more. Don't give full answers, give hints that spark curiosity. Example, her, what are you doing this weekend? You, something fun, you'll have to earn the details. By keeping your responses playful and mysterious, you create intrigue, and intrigue leads to attraction. How to handle her tests. Now that you know the formula, there's one final obstacle. Her tests. When a woman is attracted to a man, her subconscious will try to test him. She's not doing this on purpose. It's an instinctual way of seeing if you're the real deal or just another guy faking confidence. Here are common tests and how to handle them. 1. The disinterest test. Her, I don't really find you that interesting. Wrong response. Oh, well, I think I'm interesting. Needy, approval seeking. Right response. Damn, and here I was thinking I was fascinating. Guess I'll have to try harder. Playful, confident. 2. The challenge test. Her, I bet you say that to all the girls. Wrong response. No, I swear I don't. Defensive, weak. Right response. Only the ones I like, don't get jealous. Flirty and control. 3. The jealousy test. Her, that girl over there keeps looking at you. Wrong response. Really? Where? Desperate for validation. Right response. Yeah, she's my stalker. It's getting out of control. Amused, unbothered. When you pass these tests effortlessly, her attraction for you skyrockets. Why? Because most guys fail. They get defensive, they seek approval, they fall into the trap. But you're different. You're the kind of man who understands attraction on a level most men never will. How to make a woman think about you, non-stop. At this point, you've learned the core principles of attraction. How to talk to women, how to position yourself as high value, and how to pass their subconscious tests effortlessly. But there's one final piece of the puzzle, making her think about you even when you're not around. Most men assume attraction happens in the moment, but that's only half the equation. The real magic happens when you create a deep emotional imprint in her mind, when she can't stop replaying your words, your energy, and your presence long after you've left. This is where you separate yourself from 99% of men. Let me show you how. The psychological triggers that make you unforgettable women don't become obsessed with men because of looks, money, or status. They become obsessed because of emotional impact. When a man triggers certain emotions in a woman, her brain attaches to him. This is why some women keep thinking about men who treated them badly, why they chase guys who aren't even that special, and why they can't get certain men out of their heads. It's not about logic, it's about emotions. Here are the 4 psychological triggers that will make a woman feel deeply connected to you, even when you're not with her. Trigger 1. The push-pull effect. The most powerful way to create emotional addiction in a woman is giving and taking away your attention unpredictably. Women crave emotional highs and lows. It's what keeps them interested. If you're always available, always nice, always predictable, she won't feel that rush of uncertainty that triggers attraction. Here's how to use push-pull in your interactions. 1. Give her a compliment, then take it away you. You know you have a really unique energy about you. Her. Oh really? What do you mean? You. Never mind, you probably hear that all the time. Boom. She's now thinking, wait, what did he mean? Why did he stop? I need to know. 2. Be playfully dismissive. Her. Do you think I'm pretty? You. You have potential. Give me a spin, let me see. Her. Laughs, plays along. This creates tension and intrigue. Instead of giving validation easily, you make her work for it. 3. Show interest, then pull away. Send her a fun, engaging text. When she replies, don't respond immediately. If she reaches out first, wait before answering. In person, be fully present. Then suddenly check your phone, glance away, or act distracted for a moment. These small behaviors create a dopamine spike in her brain, the same way gambling or social media notifications keep people hooked. She will crave your attention because she doesn't fully have it. Trigger number 2. Unfinished stories. One of the most powerful psychological principles in human nature is called the Zeigarnik effect. The tendency for people to remember unfinished or incomplete things far more than things that are resolved. You can use this to keep her thinking about you non-stop. 1. Start a story, but don't finish it. You. Remind me to tell you the story about the time I almost got arrested in Mexico. Her. Wait, what? Tell me now. You. No, you'll have to earn that one. Her. Curiosity explodes. She will think about this later, guaranteed. 2. Give half answers. Her. Why are you smiling like that? You. Oh, I was just thinking something funny about you. Her. What? Tell me. You. No, it's too dangerous. When you plant curiosity in her mind without resolution, she will mentally chase you. She will replay your words later. She will wonder about what you meant. She will think about you without even realizing why. Trigger number 3. Emotional roller coaster. Most guys try to keep interactions positive and safe. Big mistake. Women don't get emotionally attached to nice guys. They get attached to men who make them feel. If you've ever seen a woman obsess over a toxic guy who doesn't even treat her well, this is why. He triggers emotional highs and lows. The good news? You don't have to be toxic. You just have to create a variety of emotions instead of just being nice all the time. Here's how. 1. Playfully challenge her. Her. I don't think I like that movie. You. Wow. I was really hoping you had good taste. Guess I was wrong. Teasing. Playful disappointment. 2. Give her a moment of doubt. You. You're kinda cute, but I feel like you might be a little trouble. Are you? Her. No, I'm actually really sweet. Now she wants to prove herself to you. This shifts the power dynamic. 3. Break the all-positive pattern. Instead of always being fun and playful, have a moment of deep intensity. Midway through a fun conversation, pause. Look into her eyes. Hold the silence. Let the moment feel real. Then say, you ever have a moment where everything just stops and you feel like time doesn't exist? This creates an emotional shift, and emotional shifts are what make people feel deep connection. Trigger number 4. Make her work for your attention. This is huge. Most men give away their attention for free. They chase, they text first, they always try to keep the conversation going. This is why women lose interest so quickly. They don't value what they don't have to earn. Here's how to reverse it and make her chase you. 1. Let her initiate. Sometimes, if you're always the one reaching out, stop. Give her space to wonder why you haven't texted yet. When she finally does, don't respond immediately. Let her feel that tiny bit of uncertainty. 2. End the conversation. First, instead of dragging the conversation until she gets bored, be the one to end it first. Say, "All right, troublemaker, I gotta go. Don't miss me too much." 3. Give her micro-rejections. Her, "Do you think I'd make a good girlfriend?" You, "I don't know yet." You still have to prove yourself. This subtly shifts the power. She now feels like she has to earn your attention instead of just receiving it. How to keep her hooked for the long run. Now that you've learned how to spark intense attraction, create psychological triggers, and make a woman think about you non-stop, it's time to go even deeper. What separates men who have short-term flings from those who make women emotionally addicted? It's not looks. It's not money. It's not even status. It's emotional imprinting. This is what locks a woman's desire onto you permanently, making her crave your presence, miss you when you're gone, and feel like no other man can compare. Let's break it down. The emotional imprinting formula. There are 3 psychological elements that make a woman bond to a man long-term. Emotional variety, giving her a mix of excitement, comfort, tension, and mystery. Future projection, subtly planting thoughts in her mind that make her imagine you in her future. Scarcity and absence, making her fear losing you, which amplifies her attraction. When you master these 3, she will feel an emotional connection to you that she can't explain, but also can't resist. 1. Emotional variety, the key to long-term desire. Most men make one of 2 mistakes when dating a woman. They are too predictable, nice, agreeable, always available. They are too inconsistent, hot and cold, causing frustration instead of attraction. The secret? Balancing emotional highs and lows to create variety. This makes your presence exciting and unpredictable, which is what keeps women hooked. How to create emotional variety. Use 3 different emotional tones in your interactions. Playfulness, flirty and fun. Example, "You are trouble, I can already tell, but I like a little danger." This makes her feel excited and triggers romantic tension. Emotional depth, intimate and real. Example, "Have you ever felt like you were meant for something bigger, but you don't know what it is yet?" This creates deep connection and makes her feel like you get her. Tension, challenge, and mystery. Example, "I like you, but I'm still deciding if you're girlfriend material." This makes her want to prove herself to you, which keeps her chasing. Most guys stay in one emotional mode, either being too nice, boring, or too distant, cold. The men who keep women hooked long-term master all 3. 2. Future projection, how to make her see you in her life. Women get emotionally attached to men they can picture in their future. When you subtly plant the idea of a future together without forcing it, you trigger deep emotional bonding. How to use future projection. Create what-if scenarios. Example, imagine we went on a spontaneous trip to Italy. What's the first thing we'd do? This makes her visualize being with you in the future, creating emotional attachment. Give her a role in your life. Example, you'd probably be the type of girlfriend who steals my hoodies and pretends they're yours. This playfully frames her in a relationship with you, making her want to live up to it. Use the fast-forward trick. Example, picture us in 10 years laughing about how we met. What do you think we'd say? This subconsciously makes her think about a long-term future with you, which deepens her emotional connection. Future projection works because it plants emotional seeds in her mind that grow over time, making her feel more attached to you than she realizes. 3. Scarcity and absence. The power of uncertainty. One of the most powerful forces in human psychology is loss aversion. People value things more when they fear losing them. If a woman feels like she has you completely, she will naturally start taking you for granted. But if she feels like she could lose you, her attraction will intensify. This is why men who are too available lose their power, while men who create a sense of scarcity become irresistible. How to use scarcity and absence. Don't always be available. If she asks to hang out, sometimes say, "Can't tonight, I have plans. Let's do another day." This shows you have a life outside of her, which makes you more desirable. Be the one who ends conversations. Instead of letting the conversation fade, be the one to end it first. Example: I gotta run, but let's continue this later. This leaves her wanting more, making her chase you instead of the other way around. Disrupt predictability. If you've been texting frequently, go quiet for a bit. If she expects you to reach out first, let her be the one to text you. This creates a pattern of unpredictability, which keeps her invested. Scarcity works because it triggers an emotional gap. When she doesn't hear from you for a while, she starts missing your presence, wondering what you're doing, and wanting to pull you back in. The final step: becoming the man she can't replace. Now, you understand exactly how to create intense attraction, keep a woman hooked, and make her crave your presence. But here's the ultimate key: becoming a man she sees as irreplaceable. Most guys treat attraction as a game, using tricks and tactics to get short-term interest. But the men who truly dominate in dating are the ones who become the kind of man women never want to lose. How to become irreplaceable. Have a strong mission. Women respect and admire men who are focused on something bigger than them. Whether it's business, fitness, art, or personal growth, your life shouldn't revolve around her. Be unapologetically yourself. The most attractive trait in any man: not needing validation. When you're comfortable being who you are, women naturally gravitate toward you. Live a life that excites you. The best way to keep a woman addicted? Be someone who excites himself. Travel, learn new skills, do things that make you magnetic. When you build a life that is already amazing, women will naturally want to be a part of it. Final words. By now, you have the blueprint for mastering attraction, keeping a woman emotionally invested, and making her see you as the most unforgettable man she's ever met. This isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding what naturally drives female attraction and using it to your advantage. Most men will never understand these principles, but you're now in the top 1% of men who do. And that means you hold the power. Use it wisely.